Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for this Advanced Pilates Reformer Flow workout. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much. Start seated on the long box with one red spring attached, your feet on the headrest. The foot straps over your thighs and a ball in between your knees. Begin sitting tall, inhale to prepare, then exhale, tuck your tail and curl partway back, squeezing the ball, then rolling up to sitting tall again. Exhale, curl down and back. Inhale, rolling up on top of your sits bones. Remain curled back and squeeze the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and roll all the way up, sitting tall. Arms and hug the tree. Inhale to prepare, exhale, curl back and remain back there. Rotate to the right, center, and left, center. Continue to squeeze the ball so that your legs and pelvis don't move. One more each way. Roll to center and curl all the way up. Clasp your hands behind your back and open up your chest and give yourself a good stretch here. Remove the ball from your legs and place it behind you, close to the back of your mat, where you can lie down on it, around the bra strap line area or middle back shoulder blade area. You need it in an area of your back that helps you remain tucked in an ab curl. Move that ball around so that you are not hurting your back and you can remain scooped and tucked through your abs. Arms can be forward or hands can be behind your head to support your neck. You're going to march the legs, picking up the right one, set it down, then the left one, set it down. Remember, we're on one red spring and the straps are over your thighs, just close to the knee. Inhaling and exhaling as you go. Keep your belly scooped, and one more set. When both feet are on the headrest, place your hands behind your head and arch back over the ball if that's okay with your neck. Keep your head supported in your hands. Take a breath or two there. Curl your head and chest back up into your ab curl. Lift your right leg into a chair position. Add the left one with it. Inhale, then exhale. Tuck your head and crunch forward toward your knees and pull your knees toward your nose. Releasing back and forth, crunching and resting your back on that ball. Make sure it's still in a good spot. And use those deep low abdominals to pull the knees in each time. Last one. Keep the head curled up high and extend your right leg to straight, but keep tension on the left leg, the strap of the left leg, and then switch. So there's one leg that's drawn in toward your belly, the other leg extends. That leg that is extending will lose tension, but you should maintain tension from your core muscles on the leg that's being held in or bent in towards you. Last set, and then you'll place your feet down. Rest your head in your hands as you arch back over the ball to stretch your abs. Curl all the way up to sitting and remove the ball from behind your back. Lie flat down on your back, lift your legs up into a tabletop position and place the ball in between your knees, hands behind your head. You're going to rotate to the right, pulling both knees in equally towards you, and then back to center, releasing the knees back slightly. Turn to the left, pull the knees in, and release back. So every time you turn, you're drawing both knees in towards you. The only thing rotating is the upper body. more to the other side, then take that ball out from your legs, place your feet on the headrest, let your head hang back if that's okay with your neck. This time, lift your legs back up into chair position. Place the ball in between your heels. Your knees will be somewhat wide apart in a frog position. Hands behind your head, elbows wide apart. Pull the knees toward your armpits as you crunch up towards the legs and then return back. You determine how far back and forth your legs go, and the further back away from you they extend or lengthen, the harder this will be, but that's up to you and how your low back feels. Keep that C-shaped curve of the upper torso and press your belly button to your spine. Finish there, remove the ball and rest back, letting your abs get a little stretch. Hold the ball in your hands up overhead and curl all the way up to sitting tall. Set the ball down and come off the machine after you remove your straps from your legs, and you'll turn your box to short box position against the shoulder pads. Have your ball within reach near the foot bar. You need to step inside the well where the springs are, so you need to push your carriage back and then step inside the well. Just be careful not to get your legs caught on any of the springs. Left foot will be on the floor on one side of your red spring, and then the right foot will be against the box. Hands on the foot bar that's a low or medium height. Keep your navel to spine and the spine long and straight as you kick your right leg back and forth, squeezing the glutes and hamstring. Your standing knee should be soft. One more time, extend that leg and bend it back. Then grab your ball and stand tall. Compress the ball in between your hands, elbows wide. That's going to help you balance, hopefully. And you're going to bend your standing leg as you extend your right leg back behind you. It won't go far unless you change the weight and decrease it. Then you may be able to kick the leg further. You can see here Karen's pants are getting caught on the spring, so just make sure you adjust as you need to for that potential. Lunge down with the standing leg, push back through the other leg that's against the box, and then you're going to rotate the torso to the left and the right and center each time, back and forth, maintaining your balance, and squeeze that glute of the leg that is pressing back. And finish here. Set that ball down so you can switch legs. Holding on to the foot bar, left foot against the box, right foot on the floor in the well. You may need to be on a block. I didn't mention this with the other leg, but depending on how tall your machine is, you may need to be standing up on a yoga block or a Pilates block. Kick that leg back and forth, spine is straight, shoulders away from your ears. Belly button drawn up towards your spine to protect your back since you're bent forward. Grab the ball and lunge down as you kick the leg back behind you and return. Down and up you go, maintaining your balance. Squeeze that ball in between your hands. That really should help you activate through the front body to help you stabilize. As you can see here, there's always one side that prefers to be the stable side and one side that is the more mobile side and can be more of a challenge to balance with. You can always change the weight, sometimes that will help, but really squeeze the pelvic floor muscles, squeeze the core. I'm just holding Karen's sides and drawing them in to remind her to draw everything to the center as she twists back and forth, and then finish here. Have a seat on your box for a piriformis stretch. Take one ankle over the opposite thigh, grow tall, lean into the stretch, and really stretch through that outer hip, breathing deeply. Switch legs. Still on one red spring, you're on a medium height for the foot bar, and hands go on it. Right foot onto the wooden platform under your bar, left foot on tippy toe against the box, and lunge down so your front knee is close to or against the foot bar, and then kick your back leg back and forth, similar to what you did with your foot on the floor. So extend back and forth. You can hold on to the bar here, but don't put a lot of weight into your hands, or if you prefer, you can try to balance. Just be very careful. Stay as low as you can and maintain control. Last kick back, and then grab your bar with your hands and push back into a lunge, deeply stretching through the hips. Maybe legs are straight, maybe the front knee is bent. Do whatever feels best to your body. Return the carriage home and we'll switch legs. So left toes are on the wooden platform, right foot in a high heel position against the box. Stay low as you kick back and forth. You can hold on to the bar or not. Just make sure if your hands are on the bar, you do not put a lot of weight into your hands. Use those core muscles to keep you elevated. Last one, and put your hands on the bar and press back into a lunge or a split stretch. Shades of blue and gray. I feel just like an empty bottle. My dreams are... Return your carriage home and place your feet on the carriage in front of your box, parallel, sit bone distant apart. Hands are wide on the foot bar. Round your back like a scared cat for elephant. Keep your spine rounded to the sky, shoulders directly over your hands, and move your carriage back and forth. This is a short, tiny little move. We are staying on the lighter weight. Usually elephant's done on a heavier weight when the feet are further back on the mat. But press that carriage out and in, keeping the abdomen scooped, and again, keeping the upper torso and arms nice and still. Last one, and then we'll do this again in releve. So lift the heels up along the box, you're on your tippy toes, but same form. Keep the shoulders over the hands, move those legs back and forth. Every time you pull your thighs in towards your face, feel as though you're going up into a pike or a handstand. Every day remains the same now. One decision we obey. I just want to climb on top of a hill and throw it all away. Return the carriage home, flatten your feet, stand tall, and clasp your hands behind your back to open up your chest.
Just ride all the way to the rainbow's end. Just ride.
Lower your foot bar to low bar position and come to kneeling on the box. Your knees and shins should be off on the box. Your feet will be hanging off, hands wide on the bar. And come into a kneeling plank. Pelvis comes forward towards the well and chest over your hands. Squeeze your glutes to protect your low back. Remain in this kneeling plank as you press the arms back and forth. Inhaling as you go back, exhaling as you draw the carriage home. Keep your head in line with your spine. One more repetition, and then you'll push back into a child's pose and stretch.
Down in the dungeon is all we know, where the shining light we never go into.
You can be on one red spring still, or you can switch to one blue spring for the side leg work. So your left foot is on the floor inside the well. You're facing the long edge of your reformer. Your right foot is going to be up against on the mat, up against the box, sort of angled up against it. And standing tall, you're going to kick that right leg out and in.
My mind stretched out on the canopy. My dreams getting bigger than you and me. I'm alive to die.
Control the carriage in both directions, navel to spine, standing tall. Grab that ball into your hands. You're going to squeeze it in front of the chest, elbows wide apart. Lunge down with your left standing leg as you kick the carriage out with the right leg. Keep your navel to spine. You're going to inhale in one direction and exhale in the other. Head stays high.
Embrace what you see now. Don't you feel like cutting loose? Yeah, cutting loose, cutting loose. I'm alive.
Remain in your lunge and rotate your torso to the right and center and left and center. Continue back and forth, keeping the legs strong and still. Navel to spine so that you don't rotate your pelvis, just your chest. Finish here and carefully turn to the other side.
Dreams getting bigger than you and me.
Right foot on the floor, left foot is angled against the box on the mat and standing tall. You do not need your ball for this part. Hands can be on your hips or out to the sides to help you balance. Soften the standing knee and then kick your left leg out and in, controlling that carriage in both directions, working the muscles of the outer hips.
Do or die. I'm alive. Do or die. My mind stretched out on the canopy. My dreams getting bigger than you and me. I'm alive. Do or die.
Grab the ball into your hands, elbows wide apart, go into your side lunge. Bend the standing leg on a slight turnout as you push your carriage out. Squatting down as you kick the carriage out, lifting tall as you pull the carriage in. Last one, and you'll stay in position in that side lunge as you rotate your chest to the right and to the left. Finish one more set and then return the carriage home. Have a seat on the box and do another piriformis stretch.
Someday you'll rise and come into a field of view.
Switch legs to stretch the other hip.
Someday you'll rise. Sit that an angel will illuminate the sky.
Step off the machine to the left and place your box on the floor. In long position, the box should be close to the foot bar side of the machine.
You and I'm missing every moment with you, and I'll be waiting.
Switch back to one red spring if you had previously been on a blue spring.
Too good to be true, the times are changing.
Kneel on your carriage. Place both feet against the shoulder pad closest to the box that's on the floor. So both feet have to be up against there. Then your hands are going to go onto the box. Make sure that you don't have them in an area that would tip the box over, and they should be shoulder width apart. Pick your kneecaps up off the mat and kick the carriage out and in, into a plank and back into your kneeling position with the knees staying off the mat. Breathing in and out. Keep your legs straight out there on the next one and pike the hips up and down, lifting the body up like an elephant position and lowering down. Inhaling in one direction, exhaling in the other.
I'm missing every moment with you, and I'll be waiting here for you.
2 more repetitions for a total of 8 if you can, and then you'll softly come down to your knees. Center yourself on the mat and press back into a child's pose to stretch. Come to a standing position on the box. Place your right foot against the shoulder pad closest to the box. Left foot should be in the center of the box, but very close to the carriage.
To the field of view, be visible.
Lunge down, bend the standing leg as you kick the right leg back. Then return to tall position, drawing the carriage home with slow control.
Welcome, this is your life now, the wasteland where we all take a vow.
Last one, stay down in your lunge and bend the knee in and out, moving that carriage back and forth, staying in your low lunge. Finish one more and step onto your box, facing the reformer. Reach down for snake. Your hands will be across the mat on the opposite side of where you're standing. Your left hand will be holding one edge of the mat, the spring side. Your other hand will be near the shoulder pad or on top of the shoulder pad. Left foot is planted on the mat, right foot crosses on top of the left. You've got to be careful that your box doesn't slip. As you lower your hips, you snake out towards your belly and then fold back in, returning the carriage home. Inhale away, exhale, lift the hips up. Try to keep your hips level as though you're going to lay them straight down on the floor. Return the carriage home and carefully step down, and we'll bring the box to the other side of the machine. Remember, your box should be closest to your foot bar side of the machine. Kneel on the carriage, feet against the shoulder pad closest to your box, and hands down on the box, separated shoulder distance apart. Pick your kneecaps up off the mat and kick your carriage out and in, keeping those knees lifted, breathing in and out as you go. Next, keep your legs straight and pike up and down, folding at the waist, lifting the hips and lowering them. Last one, and softly lower your knees down. Give yourself a little child's pose stretch, and when you finish stretching, come to standing on the box. Your left foot will be against the shoulder pad, so we can go into lunges. Right foot on the box, left foot against that shoulder pad, hands on your hips, stand tall. Lunge down, bending the standing leg as you kick the other leg back behind you, then grow tall, returning your carriage home. Be steady and controlled, navel to spine, shoulders away from the ears. This time, stay low and kick that carriage back and forth, bending and straightening the left leg. Turn the carriage home, stand on the box facing the machine for snake. Right foot stays planted about halfway down the box, left foot crosses over the top of your right foot when you place your hands on the carriage, on the opposite side of the carriage from where you're standing. Snake out towards your belly, lowering the hips as you move the carriage away from the bumper, then fold at your hips to pull the carriage in. You're not trying to push with your arms here, you're really trying to lower and lift your hips to get that carriage to move. Last one, then step down off the machine. Put your box away, be on one red and one blue spring for feet in straps. Lying supine with your head on the headrest. Your headrest can be up or down for now. And then you're going to place your feet in the straps. If you have double loops, I like to put them in the long loops, but it's totally your choice. You will also need the ball near you because you're going to be putting it in between your ankles once your feet are up in the straps. Start with your legs parallel, slightly lower than the center of the ceiling, squeezing the ball between your feet, and lower and lift the legs. Keep the pelvis level as the legs go down and up. You're going to go down on a 4 count, 2, 3, 4, and up, 2, 3, 4, and down, 2, 3, 4, and up, 2, 3, 4. Continue with this pattern. Bend into a chair position, keep the legs parallel, press the legs to straight, 2, 3, 4, and bend, 2, 3, 4, and straighten, 2, 3, 4, and bend, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Keep going.
I wish you'd stay.
Last 1, 2, 3, 4, and bend, 2, 3, 4. Externally rotate into frog, the back of your heels pressing into the ball, knees are wide. Kick out, 2, 3, 4, and bend, 2, 3, 4. Keep squeezing that ball and bend, 2, 3, 4. Continue at this tempo.
Closer than it felt before. And yeah, I know that I always hurt your feelings. Yeah, I know that you'll never be forgiving me. And I just want you to know I didn't mean it. Baby, I just wanna be with you.
Bend into frog and remove the ball and set it down. Pull on the ropes to give yourself a little froggy stretch. And maybe a straight leg stretch, either straddle or straight together for hamstrings. And then we're going to go into circles, starting at the top. Open your legs, press down, close the legs at the bottom, and slowly lift them up, keeping that nice smooth tempo, even in all directions. Breathing in one direction, breathing out in the other.
The way I treated you, I don't deserve a second chance. I know that I'm way too late, cause I messed it up, and there you go. Oh, 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 oh. There you go, walking out that door. It felt so close, oh, 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 so close, closer than it felt before. And yeah, I know that I always hurt your feelings. Yeah, I know that you'll never.
Reverse at the top. Press down and slowly around and up, closing the legs at the top, then lower again. Keep your navel to spine to stabilize the pelvis. Finish at the top, then bend into frog and give yourself a stretch. Straighten your legs up to the ceiling, keep them parallel and squeezed together. Pressing into your arms, curl the hips up, keeping your feet over your hips, not over your face. Keeping that carriage nice and still as you roll the hips up and down.
I got your letter, guess this is better.
Now lift the hips up, separate your feet, push through the foot straps for long spine, lowering down bone by bone, trying to get your feet to push through beyond your hips. And close the legs, fold in half, lift the hips up, press the feet apart and into the straps as you lengthen down the spine, rolling through bone by bone and trying to control the motion on the way down. Close the legs, fold in half, lift up, trying to get your feet straight up over your hips or behind them, but not over your chest and face.
I can't help that I miss you now.
Now reverse, go over with the feet apart, close the legs, then push through your foot straps as you reach down the legs and down the spine, slowly and controlled bone by bone.
Can't say I like it, but I can fight it. Some things are not meant to be, even if it's hard to see. I'll try to let go. It's not easy, you know. Some things are not meant to be. Let's skip the apologies. Ooh, 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 ooh. But I can help that I miss you now, and I need to remember.
Final repetition, fold in half, lifting the buns up, close the legs, push through those foot straps, keeping your glutes squeezed and tight to help you keep the hips lifted as the legs lower down. Then rolling through the spine, bend into frog when you're at the bottom and give yourself a stretch. Short spine, hands down by your sides, feet in frog. Push your legs to straight. Once they're straight, make them parallel. Fold at your hips, pushing and peeling up and over, feet going towards the top of the tower if you have one attached to your machine. Bend your knees into a diamond shape. Keep your heels lifted as you roll your hips away from your heels. And when you can't go any further, bring your heels down towards your tail. And again, press to straight, go parallel. Push and peel, scoop those abs up and over, bend into a diamond shape, and roll the body down bone by bone, dragging your heels towards your bottom when you can't go any further. Continue. Your final one, enjoy the stretch of the spine on the way down. When you're at the bottom, go ahead and take your feet out of the straps, hang those straps up, and come off the machine. I'd like you to take all springs off. You will need high bar, more than likely, depending on your height, and you're going to stand inside the well. Again, there's no springs on. Your backside will be against the foot bar. And we're going to do some ballet stretches like we do on the ladder barrel if you've ever done that before. Standing tall, drag your right toe to knee and extend your leg on top of the carriage. Your heel will rest down, toes can be pointed or flexed, keeping your hands and your bottom against the foot bar. Bend forward at your hips. When you can't go anymore, you can reach forward towards your leg or the mat if you prefer. Otherwise, just keep your hands on the foot bar. Drag that right hip back, so pull your hip back, sit bone towards the bar, breathing deeply to stretch. Curl up the spine, and once you're upright, hold on to the bar, slide your foot across the midline, and then hinge forward again and reach down towards your foot or the mat if you can. This is going to get you an IT band stretch. I like the foot flexed. It gets a better stretch in my IT band. You could have the toes pointed if you want. I just find with my foot pointed, I tend to sickle my ankle. Curl to standing tall and swivel on your standing heel to face the long edge of your mat. You're going to take your right hand across your body. Your left side of your body should stay against the bar. So right hand goes across, holding onto the bar. Palm can be up or down, and then side over and stretch. Make sure that your foot that's on top of the mat is externally rotated, or that leg is externally rotated. Trying to get a stretch through the side of your waist as well as your inner thigh, and breathing deeply. Rise up out of your side bend, and you'll bend forward and put your hands on the frame of the machine for a side lunge stretch. This will get your inner thighs to stretch out. stand back up, and then you're going to do a runner's lunge. Grab your right ankle while you're holding on to the bar for balance with your left hand. And make sure that knee is pointing straight down, and tuck your tail under to give you a deeper quad stretch. Just remember, when you let go of your foot, when you're finished this stretch, that your your machine is behind you, so don't drop your foot on the track of the Reformer, because I've seen it done and it looks painful. All right, standing back against the foot bar, drag your left toe to knee and then lengthen that leg on top of your mat. Hinge forward and give yourself a hamstring stretch. Curl up the spine, holding on to the foot bar. Slide your foot across the mat. Hinge forward for your IT band stretch. Curl up the spine, swivel on your right foot to face the long edge of your mat, and go into your side bend. Your left hand crosses your body and holds on to the foot bar if you can reach it. Your other arm goes overhead into that side stretch. Lift out of your side bend and bend forward into your side lunge for your inner thigh stretch. Take several big, deep breaths here. All right, we'll finish the ballet stretches with a runner's lunge, holding onto your left ankle with your left hand. Make sure that knee points straight down and you tuck your tail. Carefully release your foot down to the floor. Make sure your carriage is out of your way. I've pushed theirs back towards the risers. Stand comfortably on your feet. Inhale your arms overhead. Pull on your left wrist to give yourself a good side stretch. Inhale up. Pull on the right wrist, as you exhale over to the other side. And then big inhale, arms lift and they come down and reach behind you as you open up your heart and stretch. And then we'll finish with one more big, deep breath. Inhaling those arms out to the side and overhead, grow tall and remain tall as your arms come down. And you did it. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next video.